So this is my 51 gravel bike, and I'm in rocking this Redshift suspension seat post, and I've also been rocking the stem and the kitchen sink handlebars. So what I want to do is I want to see what it's like to, this is my Gerard road bike, and I want to switch the seat post to see what it's like to ride a suspension seat post on a road bike. So I'm going to need a couple of things. I'm going to need obviously an Allen key to take out the thing, and then I'm going to need a shim. And the gravel bike has a 27.2 diameter of a tube in the seat post, and the road bike is a 31. And the reason for this is the tubing on the carbon fibre bike is much thicker. Now, when I raced, all the bikes were this 27 tubing, and this fits into most gravel bikes unless you're using a Canyon or something that has its own little seat post. So what you do is you put this in. It's fills up the space here, so I can put the smaller seat post in, and I'm just going to measure from the center of the bottom bracket to the top of the saddle, and then see what it's like. I think it's going to be better. I think it's going to be more comfortable. One reason why I'm riding 32s tubeless is for comfort, and 9 weeks post bilateral hip surgery, so I want a little bit more comfort on the bike. I noticed on the gravel bike I don't bounce around as much, plus I descend better because it's going to push the back wheel into the corner more, so it'll grip better, so I'll feel safer. And I just want to see what it's like to have suspension on the road bike, because I think it's the way to go. I've forgotten one crucial thing. The battery for the DTI, the electronic gear shifting, is in the seat post, and I don't think that will fit into the other one because it's got a spring in it, doesn't it? Let me see. This is going to be tricky. So this is the problem. The obviously the Redshift has the spring mechanism in the top, and that goes all the way inside. So I'm going to see if I can do something else and not lose it. It's always simple, isn't it? All right, so shim on first, then the battery, then the tape. Okay, let's see what this is. Starlight. Hello, Starlight. All right, it's not gonna fall off. Hopefully. And this goes in here. Okay, and then the shim goes in there. I think that looks rather cool. I'm a fan of those SMP saddles. I'm a fan of the seat post. I'm a fan of Gerard. So let's see what it's like on a road bike. 9 weeks in, and the tricky things are less tricky. Like I can get my knee past 90, which means it's easier. I wouldn't say it's super easy to get my socks on. I started wearing sandals. One is just like, what's the point of wearing socks in the summer, really? And two, stop me putting on socks. And these are tricky ones because they're long. We'll be getting there. All right, so I'm a few K in. The seat post I have on is the Endurance Pro. And Redshift make also a Race Pro, mainly for a road bike. And the difference is this one has 35 degrees of give, the other one has 20. But also the Race Pro has a place to put in the battery for the Shimano Di2 battery that I ran into that problem in the first place. This one you can get an adapter for it, but it still works. But I've just duct taped it on for the day. What I will say is, when I raced, the bikes were made of steel and it was flex in it, and the wheels were aluminium. Sometimes aluminium came in there and there's a lot of flex in the frame. So the vibration of the road went through the frame or went through the wheels. Now everything is carbon wheels, carbon spokes, carbon frames, carbon handlebars, carbon seat post, and one of the biggest things is the straight through axle. So, okay, the bike accelerates super fast, but where's all the vibration going? It's going through you. And a lot of guys that ride now are a little bit older. They didn't race. They're buying between 10 and 20 grand bikes. And all that vibration's going into your back and your hips and your knees, and you know, so I think this is a good compromise. Have a little bit of suspension, a little bit of flex in the seat post. You will corner better. It'll go over the road better, and you'll enjoy the ride better. Plus, you'll still get the acceleration in the bike. Straight away, it feels good. You know, I'd like to try the Race Pro to see what that's like. I think it'd be better. I don't need 35 degrees, just enough to get the rattle out. It's not like being on a gravel bike. The extreme of the gravel bike is like Badlands, for example, vibrating for 5 days, like extremely. I couldn't feel my left hand for 5 months after that. Couldn't use a key or use a fork, or it's just the vibration kind of gave me that dead hand. And tune that down a little bit with the road bike. And if you're on rough roads, you're just going to take it through yourself. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Let's see what it's like on some descents. Obrigado. This little section here is super rough, and generally I just get bounced around on it, but it just smoothens out the little bumps. There's a car behind me there, so I'm gonna let him come up. You can see how bouncy it is. The camera doesn't do it justice because it's got the stabilization in it. The other thing was, like, I use the stem and the suspension seat post on the gravel bike, and if I was to choose which one to use, I would get the stem. I would get the seat post first, then the stem. The stem takes a little bit of time to get used to. Takes the rattle out of the hands. But for me, I'd prefer to have the rattle come out of my spine and my hips and my hands. Just out of the saddle here. Putting down the power, 300 watts. And it feels great to be back out on the road again. I'm gonna have to knock the gravel on the head for a little bit. I fell off last week. Couple of things, lack of skill, lack of reaction time. Also, when you're not on the trails, especially here, they're very extreme from winter to summer. Summer everything's dusty, winter everything's kind of soft, but the rain washes away parts of the trail and the lines are different into the corners. And I kind of went off a drop the other day and I'm used to it, but haven't been on it for like a year. And now there was a tree there that wasn't there before, and I hit the tree and then fell over, landed on a rock on my hip, and I was thinking, oh shit. But like, once you get past that 6 weeks, you're not going to dislocate the hip. So it's just a little bit of soft tissue damage, and a lesson to me is don't push it too hard. I was going to push it to the edge, but watch where that is, you know. So I had some comments the other day. It's like, you're not wearing a helmet. No, I'm not. I wear a helmet when I need to wear a helmet. If I'm on these roads here, which is the quiet roads, the back roads, I know them very well, the safe roads, I'm not expecting to fall off. I'm not taking any risks. The risks are generally when you're with other people that run into your wheel or take the front wheel off you, or bang into you or make bad decisions, or they're not experienced with lines. I grew up never wearing a helmet. It was just a culture. And now everybody that gets on a bike wears a helmet. It can also give you a false sense of security. And generally when you fall off, you tend to hit your hip and your shoulder and you slide along, especially on the road. Off-road is different. Wear a helmet because you fall differently. If you look at Teddy Pikachu the other day, he crashed because someone cut off his front wheel, And it wasn't his fault, it was the guy in front of him that just swerved. And that's it. So if you're on your own, very rarely do you fall off. And if you do, pay more attention to it. So I'd rather be more attentive and more with the moment and have the freedom of just going out, feel the fucking air on my head, instead of some big stupid fucking thing that has never even touched the ground yet, and I have one 4 years now. So yeah, that's where I'm at with helmets. Needed when needed, when not, not. As the bikes have got more rigid, the bikes have got faster. So when you accelerate through the pedals, the frame doesn't flex because it's carbon. The wheels are carbon. You've got a straight through axle. The seat post is carbon. So when you press on the pedals, if you look how much flex comes through, it's very, very little. Whereas when I raced, that would probably move this much backwards and forwards. So in that, you've got all this vibration that's going to go through you instead of the bike. It accelerates quicker, but you're going to pay the price for it, and you're going to have a sore back or sore shoulders. I think it's why bike fits have got so popular, because people are uncomfortable on the bike. And I think the problem, a lot of it, is just the stiff compounds, the carbon fibers. I think steel will make a comeback, aluminium will make a comeback, especially with gravel, because I don't think you need that much flex. So that's where the seat post comes in. You're going to have the same acceleration, the same rigidity through the pedals, but yeah, it's going to take that vibration out through the bike. And that's a good thing, especially if you're riding on rough roads, because a lot of the roads I rode today were rough. Who's the seat post for, and would I recommend it? Well, the seat post is for someone that's looking a little bit for some comfort. I found when I got back on the bike, I kept changing saddle all the time, and none of it made a difference. I just couldn't find a comfortable saddle. And when I started racing, there was two types of saddles. There was a turbo, and then rolls came in, and that was it. And everyone was comfortable on the saddles. But the bikes were more comfortable, they were more flex. And if you've only ridden on a carbon bike and you've never raced and you're going out there miles and you're coming back and everything's sore, it's worth giving it a go. So I'd recommend it to people that want a little bit more comfort on the ride. It's not always going to be upping your tyre size by 2 mil. It just doesn't make any difference really. It's not always about being tubeless and having less pressure in the tyres, although that helps. But I think this comes in for 1, for comfort, 2, for more stability on the bike, especially on the descent. It really sits into the corners nice, and 3, it's kind of funky. So yeah, so I'm a convert, and I think they're great products, and I think they're a great company, and they're always coming up with new stuff, and that's what I like about them. So yeah, I give it a thumbs up.